Deans and directors, ladies and gentlemen of the press. It is indeed my pleasure to welcome you to this year's convocation press briefing to keep you up to date of the major developments around the activities of the 24th, 25th, and 26th convocation for the award of certificates, diplomas, degrees, and higher degrees. The earlier scheduled date for the convocation could not hold as a result of COVID-19 pandemic that ravaged the world facing, forcing schools to shut down. The pandemic tested the very core of our day-to-day lives in many ways. In the area of health, economy, social well-being, and of course, majorly on education. And in a way, it gives rise to the global effort in galvanizing forces among leaders and citizens of various countries around the world, which has materialized in the development and administration of vaccines. Because we are all here wearing masks, and of course, a number of us are supposed to have the first, if not also the second jab. In the education sector, the pandemic has given again, open our eyes to the many fora and avenues of learning that were hitherto either unknown or not so much utilized, particularly virtual learning, meetings and interactions have now become the order of the day. And of course, our university, being a dual mode university, was already running an open and distance learning program. This year, we had to graduate 3 sets of candidates that completed their academic program in the last 3 academic sessions, 2017-18, 2018-2019, and 2019-2020 sessions. During the convocation, we shall graduate 12,876 candidates in all. The further breakdown indicates that for bachelor's degree, we shall award 131 first-class degrees, 2,865 second-class upper division, 7,462 second-class lower, 2,141 third-class, and 277 first degrees. While in the category of higher degrees, we shall award 183 postgraduate diplomas, 1,373 masters, and 155 PhDs in various disciplines. The certificates of all graduates are ready for collection on the day of the convocation. Convocation lecture. We are excited to have as our convocation lecturer this year a commander in the war front, indefatigable, decorated war veteran, His Excellency Ambassador Tukur Yusuf Buratai, Lieutenant General retired Nigerian Ambassador to Benin Republic and former Nigerian Chief of Army Staff. As you all know, General Buratai is an authority on matters related to security in Nigeria, having witnessed the birth and metamorphosis of the Boko Haram sect, albeit on the war front, among other security threats facing the country. The title of his lecture is The Nigerian Front in the War on Terror, Security or Development. This will be delivered by 3:30 p.m. on Friday, the 22nd of October, at the University Multipurpose Hall. Of course, you are all invited. Honorary degrees. There shall be no award of honorary degrees during the 24th, 25th, and 26th convocation ceremony. Of course, as I scheduled, the 24th was in 2019, later shifted to 2020, by which time we graduated another step and then pushed to this moment. At the earlier stage, because of the circumstances of that time, at the peak of the pandemic and other global challenges, we thought it unwise to assemble a very large crowd that will warrant award of some of the honorary degrees. And we continued with that, having taken the initial decision not to have any honorary degrees. Highlights. In the past 2 years, we witnessed the conversion of our university from a science and technology-based institution to a conventional one. This actualization crowned all our efforts to see that the institution lives up to the name of Modibbo Adama, the founder of the Adama University, who is very well renowned for his scholarship and administrative proficiency. As you may all know, we have also gained approval to establish a medical college to run medical and allied courses. Likewise, all the listed courses in the Faculty of Social and Management Sciences, what used to be Management Information Technology, have been restored. These courses include economics, accountancy, banking and finance, business administration, and library and information science. The university will admit its first set of students into the MBBS program of the medical college in the next admission cycle, that is 2021-2022 academic year, and also resume admission of students into the 5 reinstated programs of the Faculty of Social and Management Sciences. We have also been able to cultivate and build prudent financial culture, and by so doing, we managed to keep the institution afloat for about 20 months with little or no allocation at the height of COVID-19 pandemic, characterized by lockdown and closure of schools across the country and elsewhere in the world. Of course, during lockdown, we still provided a lot of social services, water, electricity, health, security, and of course, while the rainy season lasted, we also had to undertake several remedial and remediation measures on our structures. That meant a lot of money being spent on an empty campus. The university management had to battle with maintaining the provision of all such basic services with no or zero allocation. Challenges. Employment. The Nigerian university system as a whole is undergoing a very difficult phase in its existence, owing to the embargo placed on employment. Naturally, the university by name and status is meant to be a universal melting pot of intellect, regardless of person's place of descent. The different layers of approval that the system is subjected to before gaining the nod to employ staff is downright frustrating, agonizing, and if care is not taken, would spell doom for the whole system. More so, it is happening at a critical time when there is huge cry on the brain drain in the country. The federal government has to find a way to allow the university system to employ staff when it deems fit. This will restore credibility to the system. Security. The Modibbo Adama University Yola is endowed with over 4,000 hectares of land. A portion of it is where the university campus is located, occupying less than 50% of the total land mass. However, there is no complete perimeter fencing of the institution. The situation gives the university management a lot of sleepless nights, particularly with the heightened and worsening security situation of banditry, kidnapping, and all that. Of course, of recent, we have been experiencing tremendous reduction in some of those security challenges. The university campus, notwithstanding, is very porous and vulnerable. Criminal merchants and unforeseen characters are finding easy access into the university. We appeal to the federal government to facilitate the perimeter fencing of the campus, as this will alleviate or mitigate some of the challenges being faced by management. Road network. With the location of the university several kilometers away from the municipality, many staff and students fly the route from the state capital Yola daily, coming to the university. However, we have increasingly seen the need for rehabilitation or dualization of the road. This is imperative to arrest the unnecessary loss of work time and needless loss of lives and limbs on the highway. The road network inside the university itself also deserves some attention, especially with the newly attained conventional status of the university. We are expecting a lot of expansion and extension of the main campus area. We are having more lecture theaters and hostels, and eventually expansion of faculties and other learning facilities. On our part, we have done our best to maintain the existing road network and even opening up new roads and drainages. Appreciation. In the light of the happenings and developments in this institution, we would like to express our special appreciation and gratitude to the visitor, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, for granting assent to the bill for conversion of this institution from being science and technology-based institution to a conventional one. Mr. President, with the stroke of a pen, you change the course of history for an incredibly large number of people, and by this singular act, you have reassured us of your unwavering commitment to developing education. This, plus the recent pronouncement of payment of stipends for students studying education, are bold steps towards the positioning quality of learning and knowledge acquisition. We would also like to place on record our appreciation to the Executive Governor of Adama State, His Excellency Right Honorable Ahmadu Umaru Fintri, for leading the delegation from Adama State to the presidential villa while seeking for the President's blessing when we sought approval for the conversion of the university to a conventional one. The Governor has continuously lended support to Modibbo Adama University Yola wherever the need arose, and for this we remain very grateful. We are also appreciative of the tireless effort and determination of the National Assembly members, particularly our representatives from Adamawa State, who are the special purpose vehicle in the struggle to actualize the medical college, as well as the conversion of the university to its present conventional status. Special mention must go to the Senate President, Dr. Ahmed Lawan, and to Senator Ahiru Binani, Adamawa Central Senatorial District, who sponsored the bill on the floor of the National Assembly. We thank the National Universities Commission for granting approval for the establishment of the medical college and subsequently the reinstatement of the listed courses. Here also, we want to place on record the tremendous role played by our former Vice Chancellor, Professor Nuhu Ribadi, Professor Yusuf Ribadi, for championing the cause of the establishment of the medical college. He chaired the NUC committee for that purpose. We appreciate the tremendous support of TED Fund through its numerous interventions that has enabled the institution to construct many buildings and for staff training through the sponsorship of fellowship and other forms of support in research and human resource development. We have an appeal. We also want to use this medium to appeal to the President, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, to graciously approve the conversion of the Federal Medical Center Yola to Modibbo Adama University Teaching Hospital. The teaching hospital will, among other things, serve as the training facility for clinical studies for our medical students. The Modibbo Adama University Yola will stand firm and be true to its motto, knowledge and humanism. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Gentlemen of the press, the Vice Chancellor will entertain questions. You please raise up your hand if you want to ask a question, state your name and your medium, and then you present your question.
Somebody's holding. Where is the second mic?
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, other distinguished academics. My name is Hussein Amagaza, I write for leadership newspaper. My question, sir, is these dark challenges of unemployment in Nigeria and the influx of students into Modibbo Adama University due to insurgency in Modibbo. How do you intend documenting retiring lecturers in this institution? Thank you.
The Vice Chancellor, sir, other distinguished Senate, your name in the Livinus. I write for the Punch newspaper. Perhaps I'll just write on this last question to say that unemployment and youth delinquency has been on the rise in Nigeria. Some years back, there was a student entrepreneurship program run by universities. But today, I do not know what is the status of such a student work program. Because so many institutions today are running out to poor programs and youth entrepreneurship development. What would you do? Perhaps convocation provides a very good opportunity for the university to have some endowment in that direction. Thank you.
Good afternoon, the Vice Chancellor and other top management staff of the university. I'm Emmanuel is my name. I report for the Guardian newspaper. Vice Chancellor, sir, for the first time in the history of this university, there is convocation and there is no honorary degree for any personality. Please, can you explain? Did you not find anybody worthy in the society? Or what is the reason that this convocation does no honorary degree for any personality in Nigeria?
Mr. This is our other management team here. My name is Umar Kankano. I write for People's Daily Newspapers. What's part of the challenges you write, I was keenly following whether you talk on the internal challenges being meditated against the smooth conduct of the academic professionals in the university, such as cultism and other antisocial behavior from the team youths who are molded to the leaders of tomorrow. Thank you.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir.
Mr. Vice Chancellor, sir, my name is Paddy Phineas. I write for Sahara Reporters. In your speech, you did say that there is embargo on employment, and you also said earlier that the first intake for the medical school will be admitted. So, I don't know, how do you intend to do that without the requisite staff, academic staff for that? And maybe you get the clarity well, maybe you clarify on that. Thank you.
Well, let's take this one, see the mood later, take it, so that we follow back of that. Yes, so many of the questions are interrelated. Unemployment, training, lecturers, youth balls, unemployment, and entrepreneurship. These are generally related questions. Uh, Entrepreneurship is being taught as a general course. It's part of the minimum benchmark as provided by NUC. But what we emphasize in this university is that each program provides its own focus and direction as to what students on graduation could do for themselves. If you have a generalized entrepreneurship program, it means they might all be boxed into a one-line kind of reasoning. If you are in surveying and geoinformatics, for instance, or geography, you can go ahead to specialize in various spatiotemporal analysis using satellite, remote sensing, GIS, and other areas that are core in the study of those disciplines. If you are in computing, or indeed even engineering, or other fields, there are various perspectives and tools that we provide to get them to be self-dependent on graduation. It is very difficult to run an exceptionally entrepreneurial-based program, but our Center for Entrepreneurship is up and doing. We provide various skills there as per requirement of NUC. But our basic thrust is to see that in each discipline, and right from the introductory aspect of it, what the students are fit for on graduation, or what they expect from the philosophy, the objectives, and the career prospects. Students are well guided, because what we do is to fundamentally encourage them to think critically. Once that is ingrained in them, they will be able to, on graduation, think outside the box, think independent of white-collar jobs, and try to fend for themselves. Yes, unemployment is on the rise. The youth bulge, indeed, is a very frightening phenomenon in our country, and indeed in many countries. The way to go is to train them in various entrepreneurial and life skills. That is an integral part of most programs, but most importantly, government and government agencies need to be up and doing in opening up those areas for which the students on graduation could favorably move into. What we do as an institution is to equip them to think critically. Outside that, just like any research, yes, we can do it, we can patent, but it's up to industries to pick it up and make it an enterprise. Another very interesting question on honor degrees. I think I provided that. First, I think it was in February of 2020 that we wanted to have the convocation.
April.
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 And then the time constraints and other challenges. We thought that it was not necessary to have honorary degrees. So there are, of course, 1,001 Nigerians that are eminently qualified. In fact, even around us, there are certain wonderful entrepreneurs, either farmers, rearers, or whatever, that are helping this country. They need to be brought to the limelight. People need to know what they are doing, contributing to the economy. But I say the exigencies of the moment did not allow us to plan to have that. And it spiraled. When the pandemic took its course, we still felt for the 2050 we should go without it. And again, it staggered. and another set graduated. There was also a transition in the governing council structure. The old council gave way to a new one. The decision was taken by the previous council. This council we considered was too new to begin to contemplate anything to do with honorary degrees. Of course, it is a joint council-senate issue, but then we objectively decided not to have it, not because there were no people qualified to earn our honorary degrees, but then, of course, just an accident of history. Circumstances forced us to take the first decision, and we continued with it. Internal challenges, there could be 1,001 of them, but definitely cultism is not one of our major challenges here. Of course, when driving into the campus, you can see the warning there that students should not indulge in it. We are lucky it is not part of our challenges, but we are also planning, working very hard to ensure that we don't have it. Our security committee, being chaired by our Dean of Students, Dr. Ahmed Alari, involves all the security agencies around. The police, the military, the civil defense, the GSS, every of those agencies are represented on our security committee. And we work tirelessly through our layered security framework to ensure that we live in peace and in harmony. Our internal challenges are not so much driven from that angle, and we pray we continue to stay safe that way. My friend Phineas from the Sahara Reporters, embargo on employment and the medical college. I'm very happy as if my friends here gave a little way, I saw the problem of the medical college. Professor Adama University is here. And yes, somehow the embargo on employment does not include health sector. We applied to have a broad-based recruitment, unfortunately. But in a way, fortunately, we only got approval for the medical college. As we speak, the registrar is here. I think we have recruited more than enough to kickstart the medical college, particularly in the area of, I don't know, the provost is here. Anatomy, physiology, other basic areas, we have recruited massively in those areas, and also in laboratory sciences. I think combined, definitely not less than 100, and currently they are being documented. So for the medical college, we are good to go. There are no encumbrances, either of material or human resources. Did I miss something? Retiring lecturers. Yeah, we are getting old. We are not only retiring, some of us are also dying. Some are also leaving for greener pastures. It's so unfortunate that the recruitment process has become very cumbersome. You need clearance from the office of head of service. You need endorsement from NUC. You need your parent ministry to give the note. You need the Federal Character Commission to ensure that you are doing the right thing. You need the budget office to give the budgetary provision and other things. You need so many things. You go through so many others. And that is why I say we have an appeal to give a little space for the tertiary institutions in general, the universities in particular, because issues of visiting sabbatical and all whatnot, for which people either ignorantly or mischievously think that lecturers are just running around to make money, is the dearth of lecturers and specialists in various areas, is one. And two, unlike health challenges, when you go to your primary health care, you can't get redress, you go to the secondary. You can't get, you go to the tertiary, teaching hospital. If there are no specialists there, or if the ailment is such a difficult one, perhaps you go to India, Dubai, or maybe Germany. But you cannot carry students, no matter how few they are. If you have 10 students in industrial design and you don't have somebody, an expertise in graphics, you can't take those 5 students to ABU, for goodness sake. You need that person from ABU to come and teach those 5 students here. So that is why teachers move around, lecturers move around, not because they want to. And it is definitely not because of the money, because it doesn't add up. Sometimes you are begged to come, and you come. There are those challenges. And in the face of the embargo we refer to, it is becoming increasingly difficult. And unfortunately for us here this year, we are facing accreditation in almost 42 or more programs. Student-teacher ratio or staff mix between the professorial, the senior, and the other ranks is very important in accreditation. We know it and we are facing it. But then it's something now that is almost like outside our purview. You know, we no longer control salaries. When you used to give us a certain allocation and you work with it to see who you bring, who not to bring. Now it is RTPIS. You have to biometrically data capture for salaries to be centrally paid from Abuja into individuals' accounts. These are some of the challenges. And many people either don't understand or don't want to understand. Yes, these are challenges, but we are trying, we are navigating them. And we are also appealing at all levels. The Committee of Pro-Chancellors, the Committee of Vice-Chancellors, the Committee of all available committees in the university are making their own input, pleading for people to understand the operations of the university, because that is why the challenge is. There are so many people, unfortunately living in high places, who do not seem to understand how the university operates. Universities do not generate money. Lecturers, academics in general, do not move around looking for money. Once you have chosen the academic profession, you have forsaken making money, honestly. If you want to make money, you go and do something else. If you are an engineer, maybe you go into a construction maybe, or set up your own company. But if you come to teach, you do it for what it is. Honestly, objectively, with all commitment, hoping that the little stipend you get to stay alive, the sincerity of intention, perhaps will take you to heaven. Information. Have you ever have anything or any more?
Any more questions? The phone to the end of this press briefing. We thank you all for accepting our invitation. Thank you. Yes, we also are inviting you to attend the convocation lecture on Friday by 3:30 p.m. and the convocation ceremony on Saturday as early as 8 a.m. Thank you.